Right, I've got a problem streaming. This is ZA6YI with the DATV Worldwide Net. I don't know why it's battling to stream now, but hopefully it'll start coming. There it starts. It's a bit delayed. Anyway, a very good afternoon to all on frequency. As usual, we would like to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to use a portion of their satellite, although it's amateur radio satellite, of course, but it's with their assistance and help that we are able to do this. We also, of course, want to thank the BATC and, of course, AMSAT UK and AMSAT DL for making all this possible and putting a lot of information on these various forums for the average guy to get onto DATV via QO-100. Today we have a nice little net. We've got ZS1 Mike to follow, ZR6 Tango Golf Tom. He's going to give us a nice video on last week's Backcar 10, as he calls it. Then there's Bert, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Bert's had an operation on his nose, and he really looks in a sorry state. I saw Bert, he sent me a photograph and a WhatsApp earlier, yesterday actually, to say that he won't be on, or Friday rather. But Bert, we wish you a very speedy recovery. I know you are looking, and we just wish you well. It's nice of you to pop in and at least receive. Then, hello, Mike. Nothing of interest. That's not like Mike, but anything Mike does is of interest. I saw you testing earlier, Mike. Beautiful signal as usual. Nothing to complain about. And then, hello, Nigel. 2 Echo 0 Echo Hotel Hotel. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you back on again. And Benno, Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray. Benno was operating a Jota station yesterday, and he's got some lovely QSL cards, which he might be able to give to people that contact him today. And then Chan, my goodness, I was wondering what's happened to our Indian friends, VU3FMM. Lovely, you say you're only receiving today. I certainly hope you're going to come back on the air as with Sorrow. I haven't seen Sorrow. And then Henry ZA6 Mike Charlie is watching. I hope you can receive okay, Henry. Looks like these guys, I don't know what went wrong. I had to restart the darn thing, and I just hope that it's working. So I'm just going to click onto the link and see. Yeah, I think it will retake where we were off. I hope so anyway. So with that, I'm going to pass it to ZS1 Mike, if you wouldn't mind taking it, please, Leon, from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India.
Okay, thanks, Gary. Now, why is my power so low? Amplifier not warmed up yet. Oh, got to mute the audio. Yeah, now it's slowly picking up. Yes, we haven't had a talk for quite a while. I wasn't on last week, as I think I did put it on the thing. I was at my brother-in-law's birthday in Somerset West last Sunday, so I couldn't attend the festivities on this side. Okay. Right. Remember when I did the presentation with all the various radioactive stuff and so on? At that same time, I ordered from India, believe it or not, some very interesting X-ray film. This is what it looks like. It's this little pouch contains the actual film. It's very small. It's for dentistry, with a little connecting bit, and on this side you have the sachet with the one-stop developer. So you squeeze it, roll it up and squeeze it, and the actual metal foil sachet inside breaks, and the juice runs along this flattened tube, and then for 50 seconds you just move it around in the film sachet, tear it open, and it's developed and fixed. Then you just rinse it under the tap. So it's very quick, and not a problem at all. It works very well. So of course, being so easy now, I made a few experiments. Remember, I had some uranium nitrate and gas lamp mantles and things like that. So what I did, I didn't take any x-rays. I just did this. On the left hand side, top left, you see a picture, a little one of the x-ray films with a U on it. On the left of it is a little U which I bent out of a piece of solder, put it on top of the film, the sachet as I've just shown you now, the thing, and left it under my pot of uranium nitrate. On the right, I did the same with that S, and I just put a gas mantle on top of the thing. The one at the bottom is a proper X-ray that I took. Of course, those ones I left long. I left them for 24 hours, so the radiation is obviously very low, although my Geiger counter still goes wild on both of those, the uranium nitrate and the gas mantles, as you actually did see. But I was wondering whether it'll actually do something to X-ray film, and it did, as you can see there. I'll just put a bit of backlighting here. See if yeah, it's the resolution's not, it's too far from the camera. I'll see if I can bring it close. That's a proper X-ray I took of one of these small keychain cameras. But what I forgot is that the whole side of the camera is occupied by a lithium polymer cell, which is full of copper, which really attenuated the signal. But we can see if I remove it from here and see if I can get a bit of, well, we first go to the other camera, not my argon cylinder. If I can give it some backlight with this piece of paper, there you can see better. You can see the ICs inside. There are two small, those tubular crystals, and all sorts of things in that thing. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to, playing with that sort of stuff. Okay, let me get this out the way. Otherwise, not much happening here. Still waiting for the cement and the floors and things to dry out in my new workshop before I can go and paint there and so on, and finish it off so that I can put up all the shelving and move my machinery in there and so on. I think it's going to be at the end of the summer, towards, yeah, maybe in autumn, before that place will be dry enough. I actually checked the walls with a multimeter yesterday, and it's still about 100 meg at some places, and some places even down to 500k. So yeah, I'm sure it should be nothing. It should be totally open circuit when it's really dry. So there's still some moisture. As I've said before, there's 40 years of rainwater underneath the floor and inside the walls and so on that must now dry out, now that it's got the proper roof on top and so on. Okay, Tom, I'm very curious to see your presentation. I'm very glad that you guys finally did get hold of a very, very nice, very tiny, very fancy transponder. Wouldn't know what that cost you, but yeah, at least you've got it, and hopefully you never lose it. You can always recover it and reuse it. So, Tom, over to you. 06 Tango Golf for the group from
Thanks there, Leon. ZS1 Mike here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. And yeah, glad to be back on the net. Haven't been on for a while. Had some family health issues lately, but everything's under control and resolved, so all good. Doesn't mean the project stopped though. And yeah, Leon, you're right. No, we managed to fly the balloon. And so, okay, let me start at the beginning. So the BACA 10 is essentially, it's an acronym for balloon carrying amateur radio equipment. Now this specific BACA balloon is hosted and organized by the Secunda Radio Club once a year, normally around October, and they essentially give everybody opportunity to put payloads on the balloon. So this year it was on the 8th of October. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I've got quite a nice long video clip to show it. But yes, Leon, we did manage to find a transponder, imported a small one from the UK. And yeah, we don't talk about the costs. Okay, but yeah, let me play the video. I hope it plays through fully. I was still editing and modifying it today. So just bear with my editing skills. And I'll share some more details about the balloon just after the video. Okay, cool. Enjoy.
sees it's freezing. I think you must just reduce your bit rate a little bit, Tom, your audio bit rate. So far it was a nice video. It started off good, music was great, but I think the audio might be taking a little bit too much. Or go over to 3/4, 3/4. But don't forget to also tune your toeringkie. Otherwise that will be a problem. I'm just marking time so that Tom can get his story back up. So on your FreeStream coder, just change that as well. You can go to 3/4 and then keep your audio at 32, maybe 64 kilobits per second, but perhaps a bit lower because you've got a lot of data on your video. So anyway, let's pass it back to Tom. This is ZR6 Yankee India, just waiting for ZR6 Tango Golf to come back with a very interesting video.
Okay. Okay, it's gonna try that again. It already looks like things are still hawking here. Okay, let's give it another shot. Hopefully, I haven't really tested the whole video through, and it's quite high quality video. Shot. I'm gonna have to start it from the beginning again, but we can give it a try. Okay, let's try.
start. What happens when you don't come on a Sunday, every Sunday? Tom, I sent you a WhatsApp. Maybe just go to a much higher bit rate. Go to FEC, go to 8/9 maybe, and then just increase your power, even if it's a little bit over the beacon, doesn't matter. And then I'm sure it won't hook. You've got a lot of data with the movement of the camera and stuff. So, or you can also do another thing. You can change your video size down to 950 by 540. That might help a little bit as well. You do that on the free streamer. So those are the two things that I would suggest. I had one video that used to hook at the same place every time, and that's how I overcame it eventually. But anyway, while you set up, we do have some more listeners, which we want to welcome in the meantime. Gunter, Delta 8 Golf Whiskey, and Peter. I've put you on the list, Peter, Golf Whiskey 7 Bravo Zulu Yankee. You'll come after Benno. But let's see if Tom's got his story sorted. ZR6 Tango Golf, ZA6YI standing by.
Thanks, ZA6YI, ZR6 Tango Golf. Gary, I'm going to pass it along to the next person on the net, and then we can go through a round, and then on the next round I should be ready for. So I'm going to hand it over to Mike G0.
Okay, thank you, Tom. I was just looking to see what was going wrong, but you caught me by surprise there slightly. But all okay. Alex is having trouble receiving signals, so he can't receive us, and he's wondering why. He needs to tune less than 1 megahertz. He needs to tune to within about 150 kilohertz, but we'll sort him out later. Right, not a lot to say, but that looked like a really interesting video, Tom. If you can get it to work. And I had this issue with the video as well, where it would fall over at exactly the same point every time, and it was to do with not having the right encoding. So FreeStream Coder is fine, but it's designed for a particular type of video, and sometimes it will fall over. So there's just something you need to do to get that right. I would not challenge it too much and try and transmit it at a lower resolution and a lower frame rate initially, and have a look on the Pluto to see what's happening on the transport stream analysis, assuming you're using a Pluto, of course. If not, I'm not sure what to do, but I'm sure you'll get it sorted out. But to me it looked like there was just a bit too much stuff trying to get down the transport stream pipe. The other thing I've noticed is you've got to be careful. You've got to set your multiplex bitrate a little bit below the amount that it's expecting. Because if you don't, you'll end up with overruns sometimes. I think that might have been what was happening to me the other week. Hopefully that's not happening now. But as I was testing earlier, actually, I'll just show you the very brief bit of this. This was me seeing if my video encoding was going to fall over. And hopefully it's not going to do that. Now, this is not a particularly interesting video. It's just a set of JPEGs when I was testing a GoPro in America about 7 years ago, stitched together. It's actually a trip up Pikes Peak, if you know where that is, in Colorado Springs. But very, very fast changes in video. If anything's going to make the encoder fall over, it's this sort of thing, and it doesn't. So that seems to be working okay. And if you wonder why there's a long pause there, it's because I had to let the brakes cool off. It's quite a high hill. Anyway, not particularly interesting, so I'll come back to a picture of me. Where was I for the past 2 weeks? I was in Geneva on the 2nd of October, ITU meeting, so I'm afraid I couldn't participate then. I did activate the club station on the Saturday, worked a lot of people on 10 metres and on 15 metres. It even worked South Africa, so I pity neither of you are on, but maybe next time, if there is a next time, if it doesn't get demolished before then. But then last weekend I was at the RSGB convention stroke AMSAT colloquium, which hopefully you saw on the stream, but both of those conspired to prevent me watching or coming up on the net, so sorry for the long outage, but back now. And having said that, I've not actually done anything, so if I go over to the bench cam, this shows you what I've been up to, which is nothing basically. Just to give you something interesting, after Gary said I say something interesting, I thought I'd take apart an amplifier and put a picture of it there. That's, I don't know what it is, what frequency band it is. It was just lying in the box somewhere and I can't remember. It's probably about 7 gigs or something. I doubt it's anything useful. But I opened it up to see if I could be any of the wiser, and I'm not. So I'm going to have to test it and find out if it will show me something. But the other thing is there are some PCBs which are the universal TCXO PCBs, which I spoke about before I went away to Geneva. These take 3 of the major types of TCXOs and just give you an output. So when you've got the modern Pluto, the one with an external input, you can just use a TCXO on that if for some reason you can't GPS lock it or come up with something better. And that's built for 3B8 who want to come on DATV, which will be nice, and also SSB. They don't need this frequency stability for TV, just for SSB. I expect they'll be popular. Okay, not much else to add, so I'll comment on other things in the video when we get to see it, but the first bit I saw looked really good, Tom, so hopefully you'll manage to sort that out and get it working. So with that, round to Nigel, 2E0EHH, G0MJW.
Just check I've got audio. Yeah, I think I've got audio. Let's transition over. Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Nice to see quite a few on this day. Leon, Tom, Bert, Mike, myself, obviously Benno, Chan. I know you're only receiving, but nice to hear from you, Chan. As I say, long time no see. And Bert, hope you get well soon, mate. You're only receiving. And Gunter, good afternoon to you, sir, and welcome. Sorry you're only receiving, but you know we have to start somewhere, and hopefully next week you'll be able to come on transmission. You probably got it all sorted by then. Anyway, what I've been up to this week. Well, you can see I've got my woolly hat on. It's starting to be a bit chilly in the evenings and in the afternoon. Although October this year is quite not bad during the day. Got good sunshine out in the afternoon, but cooler in the evenings. So I think we're going to have and I started putting a bit wood burn on the evenings, trying to save a bit of eating costs, because like everybody knows, all the eating's gone through the roof. We all know why, but not going to go into that. Yeah, but Tom, that video, yeah, I'm glad it was locking. No, I'm glad because it locked. I'm glad that it wasn't my end. It's normally my end that it locks up. But yeah, look, what video we did see was fantastic. Good quality. and very interesting. I can remember about 4 years ago, we had a call sign come to our local radio club, Mucknell Rolls Royce Amateur Radio Club, and he did a talk and videos on weather balloons, and it was quite interesting. But he hadn't put any DATV up there, but it was just starting. I don't know if he has done in the past, but I'm quite interested. I suppose that'll be similar first point of interest. I think I can't remember the exact terminology. But you know what I mean? Video site, that'd be good. So yeah, what have we done? No, I've been done a lot this really. I even haven't been on the BATC net on a Thursday because I was out during the day, and I I was out and had a glass of wine because I was out, just being polite. And I thought, well, I only had one glass of wine. I thought, well, once you start, you get home, you get over the one. And I thought, oh, it's till 7:45. Oh, I can't. No, the wine was more interesting than the BATC, dear. So I'm only joking, but you know what I mean. Once you start, like to have a few. Anyway, I'll comment on it. Like said Tom, Mike said we'll comment on more when you do your video next time. I think that's what I had problems with when I did my video start on my startup. I put a bit of video clip together, and I put some noise on the static noise, and that was too loud. And it was like, it still come through, but I had the audio too loud, or the bit rate, So Mark, Gary or Leon, one of the three had said, you got too much bit rate on your sound, reduce your sound. But you more advanced than I am, Tom. I'm not 1 minute telling you what to do, but I'm just saying that I had the similar circumstances. But anyway, that's enough of me waffling on. I'm going to hand it on over to Benno, Papa Alpha 3, Foxtrot Bravo X-ray. Just put my screen up. I see, that's right, I'm not catching. Put my screen up so you're not looking at me. It's 2E0EHH passing over to Benno, Papa Alpha 3, Foxtrot Bravo X-ray, and Worldwide Net, Sunday Net. Thank you.
Thank you, Nigel, for you're over. It's always nice to see the group. Gary, Tom, Leon, Bert, I hope you're well. I'm getting well soon. Not sure, I haven't heard about the story, so I will be in the near future, hopefully. Mike, great. Yeah, that's. I always use something with water, but apparently, like Tom showed us, if you do a nice South Africa floor ground with a lot of details, it does the job exactly to crash the codec. Hi. Okay. Well, anyway, what did I do this week? Over the last few weeks, I prepared for yesterday, which was the Jamboree on the Air, where we had preparations for DATV on the web, on the bird. And as some of you have seen, I have been in a tent, set up 1 meter dish, and worked pretty much the whole way with the same station. Unfortunately, only one station on the bird with a Jamboree with scouts, and that's another one from Holland, which made the language barrier for our age of youngsters very nice. But Also, my quick QSO with Gary was perfect to show that it's not only Holland we are working. Okay, what else did I do? I have worked quite a bit on this part, where DATV Easy 2.07 Alpha, that's the current version, which and that might be a sneak preview, but it should be official this week somewhere if everything goes right. So finally it will be downloadable for the group. This morning I loaded the alpha. Yesterday I loaded 07, and we made a little bit more preparations. But what I was working over the last week was the monitoring part of that piece of software. And what you see is next to each other the dashboard of Node-RED, where Node-RED is running on a Raspberry, and the Raspberry is used for many other things. But one of the things is monitoring the amplifier. So you have all kind of settings, and actually these settings are not real. They are entered somewhere as a fixed value at the moment. It's not actually measured at the moment, but that's just because I didn't put the wire between the monitoring and my amplifier yet. But for testing, this is what I made. On the right side you see the nice dashboard of the monitoring from Node-RED itself, and on the left you see pretty much the same values in the PTT monitoring. And actually if I press PTT on the DATV Easy like this one, you see on the right it's showing the PTT switching off and on. So that part works also. So actually you are you are already switching on the power supply. Here, this part you see it's switching on the power supply, and then if you press the PTT, you actually press the second relay, and it's also toggleable here. So, but this is all Node-RED. Nice thing of it is communicating with the DATV Easy, with the last help of Tom, because I got stuck and I haven't couldn't continue. Apparently suddenly it showed me it was all in the firewall between the Raspberry and the PC. There are firewalls, and I guess I didn't open them correctly. What I did try in the meantime is lying on my desk and switching on the desk camera. That's this part. Here are a bunch of Arduinos. That's the way Dominic, the creator of the software, is trying to help out for the monitoring. And you, with a simple Arduino Nano, you could measure everything you want. They have sufficient analog inputs, digital outputs, no problems whatsoever. You need to buy something like an Ethernet shield. So you buy something like this, and it doesn't work because the written Eno is not written for this chip set. So this one doesn't work. So this nice combination doesn't work. And I have tried a lot of other changing. I thought I knew something about Arduino already, and I tried several other chipsets, and I couldn't get it to work. I can get this to work on a different setup for this chipset and an Arduino Nano, no problem. But I can't get the the F1 EP to work, and you need something like this, which is an Uno with the Uno shield, which has the right chipset, and obviously it drives this without too much problems. Okay, that's just a warning. Watch out what kind of chipset. If you're going to build something very similar, then this part doesn't work, and you need to figure out and modify the Eno to get this chipset working on the DATV Easy. Okay, well, that's basically all I wanted to show you. That took me a few hours to figure out everything. I passed the frequency on to I understand Chen is only on RX. That's a pity, Chen. Next time I really hope to see your face again on the bird. It's always nice to see someone from India. I understand yesterday evening I spoke with Ed, and I understand he is together with Roke setting up the truck for some demonstration today, and probably later on today they will be on the bird as well, but he probably doesn't he's not capable in time for this net. That's the reason we don't see Ed today. Okay, then passing on to Peter, I believe. Golf Whiskey 7, Bravo Zulu Yankee. Frequency on to you from Papa Alpha number 3, Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray. And do I have there along the line a yes, the test card?
It's been from ZA. And you can still no audio, but you sort that out in the meantime, and then we'll come back to you in a minute or two. What I'll do in the meantime is just show you what I've been busy with this week, and so that will also play time for Tom to get his story straightened. So I will show you in a minute. Let me just go over to wherever I had it. Okay, let's see. It should be there, and let me just take my own camera away, and then we can show you. Okay, let me just hope it works. Let me just see. Yeah, this is a little quick printed adapter for the LNB. Now, I've been doing quite a bit of research on the satellite together with Hans and a few others, so that we could work out what the Doppler effect is, and also what happens when we have various occasions, astronomical occasions, like, for example, a quick eclipse the other day, and also over our solstice. So to do that, it's imperative that everything is very, very stable. Your up frequency must be stable. Your down frequency from the satellite must be very, very stable. And we measure that against the beacon as well, which we know is extremely stable. So down the chain, I thought I'd improve on the LNB. Even though I'm running an external GPS disciplined oscillator, I wanted it to just make sure that everything is lab condition. So I built one of these units, and what I did was there's just another view. We've made it in two parts, but on one, so I could clamp around the LNB and also around the potty. And then you could easily move it and lock it into position. So then I took the LNB, and I actually took that blue unit of just now, that unit, and I made a little epoxy mold so that I could cast a elastomeric polyurethane, make that out of urethane, and that's it there on the end of the LNB. I used a single port LNB with an external port in to give me the 24 point whatever megahertz we were running at. I think it's 24.087. That gave me a bit of a higher passband frequency, which also helps to improve the signal. Anyway, I took polystyrene, cut it out, made two pieces like that, hole through the one, and then put the two together and used a very special type of epoxy resin. It's a type of resin that does not attack polystyrene. Most polyester resins would eat the polystyrene in no time. But this particular type of resin we use in tool making, or the models of tool making, so you can quite comfortably put that around your polystyrene without it dissolving. So that's what we did there. And just another picture, now turned the other way around and finished it off. That's just another view of it. Of course, you'll have to trim it when you're done, but I did it in situ with the LNB in place, and that's it. Finally, on the potty. Now that red thing you see there, this is a strange story. I had the potty on, and a little Leslie bought some toy at the local Chinese shop, and in this toy was this orange-looking contraption. And I thought, hell, it's the exact size for the potty. So I took some hot glue, quickly gave it a good coating of it, and stuck it onto the potty, as you can see there. And I got a full D rating better on the beacon. So it just proves that I'm not really nicely focused when it comes to the whole LNB thing. I must re-look at that. But I got a full D rating more, so that's about 3 dB or so. So I've left it there for the heck of it, and it makes it look quite fancy, doesn't it? Anyway, a bit of fun. That's just another view of it now. Obviously, we just painted it to make it white so that I can keep no heat, have no heat on it. And then lastly, I did a similar thing on another one. This is a 2-port unit, and there's a 2 ports, not very accurately drilled. But anyway, it does work. It goes in, so that was a bit of a head and scare one, but it works. It keeps everything nicely temperature controlled. And then finally, this is a picture of my GTX2, my first 2-meter transceiver, which I got today, exactly today, 49 years ago, on this date in 1973, and I still have it. Obviously, I don't use it much. It's 25 kilohertz. They had a useless receiver, which I built a preamp for and solved that. And then they had another useless part of it. It's a stupid IF, and you had a lot of breakthrough from other repeaters. So I was fortunate to get a crystal filter for that IF way back in the day, and just gave it a little amp, 1 transistor amp, and it became quite a nice unit actually. Used that in my motor car for many years during university, and the only 2 years of the army I had to do. But yeah, I still have it, fond memories, and so I thought, what, just going to bring this up and show the guys what it was about. So with that, let me get my camera back if I can. That's the main camera. There we go. Back again, and hopefully our friend Tom will now be in a position to do something. And then we'll go through the net sequence again. Oh, I do want to just add something, if you don't mind. Rian, ZS4 Papa Victor. ZS4 Papa Victor is watching on YouTube, enjoying this. And he says hi to the group. Then there's Kevin, Lima Bravo 6 Zulu India from Oslo. Also sent a message via Henry. Henry is ZS6 Mike Charlie, who's in Portugal at the moment. Hey, Henry, you better get home. We're missing you. We're missing you on the net as well. And then I believe Johan, ZS6 Alpha Foxtrot, is also watching. And we have old Donald. Hopefully Donald will be a radio amateur next year this time. He's also watching. And then finally, maybe you guys can help Benno. I think you might have some info. The new Pluto Plus, I helped a chap come onto the SSB section of QO-100 with the Pluto Plus. Seemed okay. Everything worked all right. No untoward things. My question is, has anyone used this Chinese clone, the Pluto Plus, for DATV? Any experience with that? On the face of it, looks a nice unit, nicely enclosed, and got your LAN connection built in, and a couple of odds and ends that we had to modify on our Plutos has been done. So I was contemplating maybe getting one. Right, with that, Tom, hopefully you're on frequency now. ZR6 Tango Golf. This is ZA6YI standing by. This is
Thanks, Gary, ZA6YI, ZR6 Tango Golf. Done quite a few changes now, so I did a quick test on the other side, on one of the other frequencies. It seemed good, although not the best of quality, but it played through. So I'm going to give it one more shot. If it doesn't pan out, then we'll call it for this week, and I'll experiment a bit during the week, and we can try it again next week. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so that seemed to have worked a bit better. Uh, sounds a bit dodgy though. But yeah, it played everything through. So yeah, the problem is not only the codecs or the different movements, but also it's footage from like 3-4 different cameras, and it's all 4K quality video. So some more experimentation required. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. So as you saw the video, the balloon was launched on the 8th of October, and it's the Bakar 10. The complete flight was about 2 hours. You'll see the video stops there as it's falling back to Earth. Main reason being is the camera came loose inside the payload, and I've got another 40 minutes of the balloon coming down, but from inside the payload, so that doesn't work too well. But yeah, the 2-hour flight, it reached a height of, or altitude of, just underneath 31 kilometers, so just over the 100,000 feet, and it went up at about 7.8 to 10 meters per second, so it went up quite a bit fast. And what else do I have that's interesting? When it initially burst and it started falling, that part where you saw when it started falling, it was falling at about 200 kilometers an hour. So it was quite a violent launch this time, but you could also see how windy it was when we launched the balloon. So the weather predictions were not as bad, and then the previous night the wind started coming up and it just got worse. So we were lucky to get the balloon in the air, but it all went very well. I'll spend next week's net, I'll spend some time on telling a bit more about the different payloads. There were lots of different payloads on board from a variety of different people, and there's quite a few interesting ones on there. The one thing that I do want to show is the camera that I used for the video that you saw now while it was going up. I actually got it like 2 days before the launch. The initial idea was to stick a GoPro on there, and then when I went to the shop, I actually found one of these bad boys. This is a DJI Action 2. It's actually 2 modules that I'm showing you here now. I can pull it apart. I can actually, yeah, that's the actual camera part, so that can work on its own. You can see there it's busy recording me there. Obviously the battery life isn't great on just on that, so this is an additional power pack, and just to be safe I also added in another USB power pack as well, but it was still full battery, the extra power pack, so I think it would have been fine just like this. I also switched off all stabilization on the DJI Action purely just to, again, save battery life. I wasn't sure how long it was going to last. Next time I'll put up Horizon Steady just to get a bit more stabilized footage. But the balloon launch was really successful, and all in all, really happy with how it went out. Yeah, I'm glad the video played. I missed now a few of the other things, so I don't have too much feedback on the other guys, but I hope you're feeling a lot better, and I hope it's not in too much discomfort. What else was on there? Gary, yeah, your experiments there, really interesting. Leon, same there with your radioactive experiments, always very interesting. Mike, good to see you there. Nigel, good to see you as well. And Benno, yeah, I missed yours completely purely because I was testing on the other channels. Sorry about that. But good to see you there. I'm glad you got the DATV easy stuff going. Okay, that's it from my side this week. I'll be back on more regularly again now, and I've got a few more videos and stuff to show next time. I'll do some proper testing beforehand. Okay, Gary, I think I need to give it back to you. Just to take it back around again, so I'm going to do that. There is 6YI, you're from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. Bye bye everybody.
Okay, Tom, that was fascinating. Yeah, it worked well. It's so good. You could have upped your audio bitrate a bit, but it doesn't matter. They got the story very well, and I look forward to more information next week. It's a fantastic project, and it was very, very successful. I just want to see, Peter, are you back with us? Let's have a look. Have you sorted out that audio from ZA6 Yankee India?
Ah. Are we sorted? Yeah, GW7BDY. GW7BDY. Maybe you haven't synchronized my audio. I'll have a look at that afterwards. Maybe you haven't synchronized the audio. Yeah, what happened to the audio? I've got no idea. It was just disappeared off the vMix here, and then I tried playing the video, and that didn't produce any audio either. And I just stopped it and then restarted the software, and all is well now. So why that wasn't working, I couldn't say. Yeah, excellent video. Is it? Have a look. Excellent video with the balloon there. I especially like the balloon bursting. I thought that was quite a good catch. That. The other one, Gary, the old radio. That's how I started amateur radio. I had a Pi Westminster, I think, or Cambridge. I can't remember which. Was an all-valve 2-meter radio, and subsequent radios for 4 meters, UHF, I think, as well. Various Pis, a little Pi handheld. You had a receiver and a transmitter separate, tuned to, I think it's a local repeater, across crystals, and basically, I think, tuned up the UHF on by ear because equipment for tuning was pretty rudimentary. Not like as it is now with the Pluto, and you can turn it into a spectrum analyzer, and everything's so much easier, I think, now in that respect. But I think actually making the gear do different stuff. It's more software driven than hardware, and you can't tune pots and have crystals cut. I remember old crystal. I'm sure that all the companies that cut crystals are all long gone now. Anyhow, the other one I would like, that was DATV Easy 2.7. Well, I'm on 2.25. I can't find anywhere to download any newer versions, so maybe somebody there can enlighten me on that, because I'd like to update my version, but I go on the Mini2Tune site, and there's no mention of DATV Easy. And the only one that I've got from anywhere from there, I think, is the 1.25. Perhaps the other versions aren't freely available yet, so maybe that's why I haven't found them. I don't know. What else? I think I've covered everything that I can remember. Yeah, there's always problems with encoding. I was finding I've had to go down to 720p because using the NVideo encoder, the NVideo broadcaster, sorry, it seemed to overwhelm the graphics card if I went to full HD 720 1080p, and then use the facilities. I'm using on the audio now. I'm using the broadcast encoder, NVIDIA broadcaster audio processor, AI audio processor, which gives you some audio noise reduction. I don't know if you can hear me clicking my fingers. I was playing a saxophone in the room, and very little of it actually escaped into the transmission, yet my voice perfectly clearly. So it's an excellent bit of kit. It certainly reduces the noise. I don't think I have a lot of echo in this room, but I have put it on. I think if it's too much, of course, with any digital, it's too much, and it gets a bit sibilant and sounds a bit synthetic. But hopefully that is not the case with this transmission. Maybe you'll enlighten me. With that, I think I hand it round. Maybe hopefully somebody can give me point me into the right direction for DATV Easy. This is GW7BZY. Back to the group. I'm not sure who's supposed to be next, so I'll hand it back to Gary and say thank you, Gary, for bringing me in and persisting and allowing me a little bit of time to get stuff going.
Okay, yeah, that was a much better transmission. Equally good as to the one we had yesterday. Must compliment you. Your video's perfect. Really good video. And as you said, you're running a a high-powered Sony. I'm just trying to think of the number, 350, PMW 350. And I found out what my end video was. It's a 3090. So, yeah, I haven't gone over to the 40s yet. And I just read this morning something about the 40 range. They made it a 12 and something else, and there's a confusion, so they're withdrawing it. I read it this morning. But back to Leon, and Leon, you're fascinating on that, what do you call the stuff, radioactive work you're busy with. Baie interessant. I love those x-rays, my goodness. Back to you, Leon, ZS1 Mike, and will you throw it down the list? ZS6 Yankee India.
Okay, Gary. Yeah, I've upped the power a little bit. I saw I was really low on the previous over. Right, let's take it from the top. Tom, excellent video. Yeah, I think what pulled you through was the 8.9 FEC. That makes a huge difference. I've experimented with that. It takes more power, but boy oh boy, you can get a lot of data through on 333 if you run 8.9. So I think you could have widened your audio just a touch, just to get that medium wave effect off and get it back to FM quality. But I mean, it was perfect for the application. Lovely, wonderful, and yeah, excellent clips you've got there. I'm very curious to see the rest next time. Very well done. I wish I could attend that launch of that thing. But let me see, what have I got on you? Okay, yeah, but he wasn't on, but yeah, get well soon from your operation, Mike. Yeah, interesting amp you have there. It's got quite a few stages. I wonder what it is. You'll have to sweep it and let us know. Okay, Nigel was fine. Just his audio sync was out. And yeah, so was Mike's. Mike's audio sync was like about a sentence out. I don't know why. Some people have varying things. Gary's sync also goes out, and then he resets it, and then it's fine, and the next time it's out again. Mine, for some other reason, I don't know, maybe I'm just fortunate, it just stays in. As long as I work with the same equipment, the same camera and so on. Which makes sense. Benno, you have your noise gate on, and it is very irritating. It's like you're coming and going. You know, you're with us, and then all of a sudden you're not with us anymore. So my suggestion is please switch it off. Chan is listening. Henry is listening from Portugal. And Peter, yes, very nice. The man with all the cameras. Yeah. I also had a Pi Cambridge, but my first 2-meter set was a KP202 portable by Toyomura. I still have it. The Pi Cambridge I've gotten rid of long ago. Mine was the model FM10MC, which is all transistorized except for the driver and the final were two quick heating tubes. Because the MC stands for motorcycle. That's what the traffic cops had on the motorcycles. The FM10MC, it was 10 watts, actually 12 output, and it was for the motorcycle. So it had instant heating, directly heated cathode valves. So when you press a PTT, the valves came on. Yes, I had that for quite a few years up in Division 6 in the Transvaal, there in Gary's area. About your audio, Peter, your video is lovely, as Gary says. Your audio, you've got hiss. There's hiss in your audio. I don't know whether that comes from your noise cancelling thing. It doesn't sound synthetic or anything. It lacks a bit of brilliance. If you want to hear good audio, listen to Gary's audio. That's like super hi-fi. You haven't got that crispy edge, and you have quite a bit of hiss in the background. But apart from that, fantastic transmission. Okay, that's from me. I must give it back to Tom. ZR6 Tango Golf for the group from ZS1 Mike.
there, Leon. There is one Mike here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. Yeah, my audio is a bit messed up now. Yeah, I'll play a bit with the setting. I've got quite a few more videos, not just balloon related. Well, not so much balloon related, but some other projects as well. I wanted to share. Got quite a few things going on, and got a few extra cameras, you know, GoPros, and I've got the drone camera, all high quality stuff. So I'll play a bit more on getting the video stuff, being able to play it a bit better on the net. But yeah, no, that the launch was really good. Leon, yeah, if you if you can help with ATC approval, then next time we should maybe fly down to you there and launch there from your side. That should also be interesting. And yeah, I just spoke just now. I agree with everybody else, Peter. Your video is brilliant. I love the colorful background back there. That came out very nice. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all from me this week. I'll fine-tune things a bit for next week, and then we can watch a couple of more videos. Okay, 73 from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf, and I'm gonna hand it over to Mike G0MJW here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. MJW here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf.
Thank you, Tom. Just passing it. So, whilst other people were talking, by the way, great video. While others were talking, I thought I'd move the bench camera down a bit. So that's the final 3 stages of this amplifier. I'm none the wiser. Whatever that device is in the output's clearly a custom one, because it's got a thing soldered on top of it. So these other devices may be useful. I'm a bit reluctant to actually power up the amplifier yet, because it's got 2 voltages and I don't know about the sequencing. Minus 28 and plus 15. But might be able to tell from some of these devices what the actual spec of them is. Now, the other thing I did was I took apart this power supply, and very interesting, because it was hard to take apart and it's potted. So there's no way you could fix it anyway if it was wrong. But I think that's something of a scrap heap. But it seems to have lots of switching supplies in it. So I guess it's a DC to DC converter, but looks very, very old. The capacitors say 6720, but I'm sure it's not 1967 because it's got an LM device in it, so I would say it's probably early 80s, 84 perhaps, from that chip. Anyway, there we are. So that's what is in there. Okay, 6 meter ES. Very good, Graham. I'm not sure I've got any here, but I'll have a listen. I'm just listening on 10 meters actually for the repeater. Someone said the repeaters were up, the American repeaters. I'm not seeing anything at the moment, but there's lots of noise on 10 meters at the moment, and I think that's my transmission causing interference via the power supply. So I will. I'll have a listen when not transmitting, because it's only on the aerial that's right next to the dish. So I think it might be the receiver is suffering somewhat from the switch mode power supply, which is next to it. Anyway, not much else to add, but it's been a really interesting net again. And Bert, I hope you get well soon if you're watching. And yeah, lots of good work going on with all these balloon experiments, transponder experiments, radioactivity, It's becoming a very interesting net, so I better get my act together and start doing something for next week. So with that, I believe it's round to Nigel again. 2E0EHH. Round to you, Nigel. G0MJW.
One, two, one, two, one, two, two, one, two, one, two. Turn that down. Yeah, I've had an accident while waiting through the other stations. I had me pan tilt camera. I knocked it off the computer and it took the top off. So it still works, I think. Well, I just got to snap all the put all the tops on back on, but that's over stretching cables. Never mind. It always rains. Never pours, but it never rains. I don't know what we're saying is. But yeah, a good video there. Tom, fantastic. And especially as Peter said, when the balloon exploded. Now, I'm going to ask you a daft question. Well, it's not daft because I don't know. So it's, did you remotely explode it, or was it the pressure? I presume it's the pressure, but I don't know. I presume it was the pressure, or did you actually explode the balloon so it didn't go any higher? But I think I know the own answer, but I'd just like to clarify if it was pressure or built or remote. But that's all I've got. Yeah. So I'm using the C920 camera now, because obviously I've dropped the case of the other one. So it's I've got to use, because once you stop them out with OBS, you've got to restart OBS to get them back in. So I'm not doing that. So, but I say, that's a great net. And then we've got one or two more listening on the YouTube. Good afternoon or good day to you, sirs or madams. Lovely net. And yes, more technical. I mean, any technical is good for me because I don't know now. A good old Yorkshire, Nottinghamshire, no slang that is, don't know. I don't know now. Anyway, I try. I keep going and trying it. I'm reasonably okay. There's always room for improvements. Anyway, who's next? Benno, Papa Alpha 3, Fox, Bravo, X-Ray. Over to you, sir, when I've just put up the test card. And I'll say 73 to all on frequency. And look forward to seeing you next week. So this is 2E0EHH, passing over to Benno, Papa Alpha 3, Fox, Bravo, X-Ray.
Yeah, well, that seems okay. Yeah, I have a little bit audio and no noise gate. On special request, do I have a camera somewhere along the line? I have a camera as well. Yes. Well, no problem, guys. Lovely video, Tom. Yeah, you need some kind of stabilization up there. It was really violent, over 200 kilometers going down, but lovely video, and love to see that again with that kind of quality. Marvelous good. Okay, what I have to add, well, about the Pluto Plus, I wouldn't advise it anymore. I have one. It's still here somewhere on the shelf. No, not even somewhere. It's very close by. It's let's put this one here so I can put it on the desk cam. And swap it to U sides. So there it is. It's not even connected. It has at this moment DVB software, firmware, so I can run it like a normal Pluto. It works, and yet it's still lying here on my shelf. So think about that, how I think about the Pluto Plus. But you get the information, it's already there on the WeTransfer. If you need more information or detailed information, I've played quite a bit with it. And I'm still in some talk groups, and like Mike said, yes, there is no follow-up on the service. Okay, for the DATV Easy is actually Dominic is quite hard working on updating, and we got a new version on Friday, and even yesterday evening a newer version, and he's adding still a lot of new possibilities. It should do also OBS 28, as it has Droid cam, but I haven't tested it. It also has the virtual audio line input, but I haven't tested it. It is doing a lot, and I still wonder if it works well. I heard some rumors from, well, it's not even rumors. Dominic told me himself. He was thinking about publishing this week. And so I hope, if everything goes right, it will be available this week. And for downloading. And that is... I hand out occasionally some copies already to some local friends, help them up and get it running, and that is also for me beta testing it, because it's still if it runs on multiple machines like 1.25 you're talking about, it runs perfectly on my machine, and it had a lot of problems with other stations. 2.07 is running fine on, well, 2606 was running fine on a lot of stations, and even 2.07 has some more benefits, like the virtual audio at the moment, and still some bugs in there, and well, it always be a continuous improvement, I believe. That about 2.07. Next week on the CAT 22, I get a slot also talking about 2.07, and hopefully by then it's released, and I can tell you more on a decent presentation, and some updates on the Arduino and things like that as well. Okay, well, that's basically all. I'm going to be off now. Hope to meet you again next week. Have a nice week, and microphone on to Peter from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray. And by the way, Gunther, just watching, also have a nice day, and thanks for watching. Same for Chen and for Bert. From Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray. Off and clear, microphone on. Do I have a test card? Yes, I have. There it is. Bye-bye.
Okay. I mean, think. No. No. Ah, near enough. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I don't think I'm actually that synced, but hopefully I'm not hissing still. Yes, okay on everything, everybody. Very good. I saw you didn't say, thank you, the one previous guy, it was call sign that eludes me now. There's a new version out, but you didn't say where, direct me to an area where I was to download it. That's the difficulty I have. I've only been able to get this one version. It doesn't seem to be available, not least where I'm looking. So obviously I'm looking in the wrong place. So I don't know if you can message me there on the board there, or if it's not secret. Restricted information where I might find it. That'd be fantastic. Okay, the camera. I'm going to show a picture of the camera because it's my favourite toy of all time. To be fair, there's my camera. I haven't got the same lens as that, but I think I've got a better lens than that really. Although that's a HD lens, and mine is a super wide angle lens, so it works very well in this shack. And before I came out earlier today, before I went out, I got one of the old ones. That one, and that one. Both of them are still working, although the black one that's got very little hours on it. The hand grip, you might be able to see on my hand. Still, the rubber grip is turning to like an oily black sludge. So time is taking its toll on them. But the old Sony, the grey one. I think you can see that, the blue-grey, even with the one next to the rack mount amplifier over there. That one has been very dodgy when I put it up there, and it didn't really lace up very well, and the picture looked a bit like it'd been in a damp environment, and it was a bit misty. But actually, it fired up all right, and the video laced and everything worked fine on it. I did make a video. I was in the process of making a video, but I had to go out, take the wife out, and then time went. I didn't get a chance to play. But I might do next time, make a little bit of video. Casting going back 25 years, I suppose, between the two of them. The Sony one was very good in its time. The black one, the JVC, was more industrial. I expect the Sony, the blue, the light blue Sony you see, or the lighter grey one you see in the background, would be more or less equivalent to the one I'm using now. But of course this one is a solid state, tapeless, the first tapeless Cinealta Sony, and it was the first one with CMOS. It's got CMOS sensors, whereas the previous two up there are both CCD. And there's a PMW 500, which was the top of the range one, and that was a 3/4 inch CCDs, 2/3 inch CCD, should I say. I'm not sure. This one would be a 1/2 inch CCD, and the other one, Sony, is a 2/3, which is slightly larger chip image sensors, because obviously there's 3 in it. So in all the cameras I have 3 sensors. Even the old grey one that's around here somewhere. That one has 3 sensors. I'm a big fan of 3 sensors. I think if you're looking for a good colour, and the key part, the old JVC silver deck there, the VHS machine, that is one of the first VHS portable recorders. It came out in about 1979, I think. It's second-hand, well, obviously second-hand, but it's eBay. It's just set dressing, really. Some of it works, most of it doesn't. But I like a few cameras. I want another camera to go on the top there, just where the tapes are and the walkie-talkies and a few, my ham radio license, and other, and of course I've got the Halloween pumpkin now as part of the set. There'll be something there for Christmas, no doubt. I have a video for Christmas. I have a homemade animator. Other thing I like to do would be animation. I like to do a bit of Blender. I haven't done very much. I did the bottles video. I'm sure everybody's seen that. If not, I'll force it on you again, which I did the sound, the video, and the titles for. And I especially like the titles because my name appears for every position in the company. And of course, I played the music. I played the saxophone, which I'm quite proud of, really, because I only started playing that on a whim, and thought, oh yeah, I can play the saxophone. My brother used to play in a rock and roll band, and you know, I thought something that might be quite interesting to play with him, but unfortunately he passed away before I got to play well enough. So I stopped that for a while and then continued just for the pleasure, and it's been a great deal of pleasure, really. And I played in a little orchestra and a jazz band and what have you. So as for radio, not a lot. I have a HF set. I had put an aerial up. I put an aerial for VHF, UHF as well, but I pulled them down and never got round to putting them back up again. So I'll have to make an effort there. And maybe next year we'll have a better pole out of the back. I took the pole down, which was going to hold the aerials in this new property of mine, and put a dish up instead. So that's priority now. With that, I'm going to go. This is GW7BZY, whoever's next, with apologies for rambling.
Peter, very good. Let me just see that I'm locked. Yeah. Right, guys, I think we'll wrap up the net today. Want to thank everyone for watching on YouTube. What do they say? You must hit the like button and the little reminder button. We just had old Dick on. He phoned me from the United States. And he's also watching now. He couldn't get it just now. That's Dick Kessler, W7 Sierra Victor. A bit of background. Dick was involved with Harris, the company Harris, when it was still very, very small. And he left, retired when it was doing billions. And he had a very, very active role in Reykjavik, South Africa as well. But anyway, one of these days, we'll make a plan to get Dick onto this medium via a link or some way. I'd like to do that with Henry as well. Anyway, once again, just want to thank all the listeners or viewers. That's Rian, ZS4 Papa Victor. We have Kevin, Lima Bravo 6 Zulu India. He's from Oslo. Henry, ZS6 Mike Charlie in Portugal. Johan, ZS6 Alpha Fox, he's in the Eastern Transvaal, that's Nelspruit area. And with that, we're going to, oh yeah, Shan, of course, Chan, very nice that you listening. I wish you would come up sooner again. It's always good to know that you're there, Chan. And also to... let me see, there was Bert, of course. Bert, hope you certainly recover soon. That wasn't a nice looking photo. And I know those type of nose operations, it's uncomfortable and the eyes go blue. You'd swear you're in a bar fight. And also to Graham, a Golf 3 Yankee Juliet radio. Nice to see you on as well there, Graham. And let's see, there was Gunter, of course, as well. Michael, Echo Alpha 7 Kilo India Radio is also on. And I think that's about it. Let me just see if there's anyone else that I've missed. I think we've greeted everyone. Donald, of course, down in Richards Bay. So with that, 7-3 to all. I'll throw the net back in the air, as we say. Close down the net. Wish everyone a very happy week. 7-3 all.
Okay, Gary, just before you switch off, I forgot to tell you the other day, there is a new VNA out, Nano VNA. I'm not sure whether they still call it Nano. It goes up to 6 gigs, which is very handy. I've ordered one. Don't know when it will come, probably December or so. And I also stumbled across a very nice power meter. that goes up to 10 gigs. It's 100 kcs to 10 gigahertz. It covers minus 60 dBm to 0 dBm, which is ideal for the directional couplers that we have and all the attenuators and things. So I'm also waiting for that. I just thought I'd mention it to you because I keep on forgetting. Okay, cheers everybody, and thanks for all the listeners listening there and watching on the streaming and so on, and do so again. Right, this is ZS1 Mike now closing shop, but standing by, Gary, if you still want to answer.
Okay, Leon. Yeah, that's interesting. The VNA, I spent a heck of a lot of money on this unit behind me, as you can see. Let me just get out of the camera. You can see it just to my left, or my right, but your left. Anyway, you can see it up there. That goes to 7.8 gigs or something. And I haven't even played with it. You know, I played with it just the first week, and I've just been too busy. I've still got its other attachments as well, still in their plastic bags. So I won't be interested in a new VNA. I've got to get this one done. That was like almost 200,000 Rand. So I think enough spent on that. You know, you have great ideas. You're going to do your cavities meet. I've got the Hewlett-Packard network analyzer, and that thing's so easy to work. I know it, and it gives you excellent results. But I am keen to know on the power amp or the power meter. I'd love to get one of those. So maybe you can send me the link if you don't mind, and then we can have a good look at it. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, as ek het nou 'n para in die keel. All the best. Thanks for the chaps on frequency. This is ZA6YI now, QO Tokyo.